So thank you for tuning at Cyfox Live. So this is the second lecture on the HTML tutorial of our web development series. So in this lecture we are going to learn about the HTML tags. So in the previous lecture we just get a simple understanding of what are tags and how we can use it. So there are about lots of tags which we are going to learn in this tutorial. You can see here is our list, and for every purpose there is a tag. So for defining the document type we use the doc type HTML. For defining the HTML document we use the HTML tag. Here you can see for defining the title of the document we use the title tag. Defining the document's body we use the body tag. For defining the heading tag we use the h1 to h6 tag. We are going to use in this tutorial for more understanding. And for per paragraph we use the p tag, and for the next line break or the single line break we use the br tag. All these tag here we will learn every tag which are going to be used in a web page so that we can understand each and every aspect of HTML. So this icon, which is the HTML5 icon, will be highlighted here because it is introduced in the HTML5 only. We cannot use this tag in the HTML4 or any previous generation of HTML. So here is the form and input tags, which is the form, input, text area, and here is all the list that we can use in the form and input type of tags. For the frame we use this type of tag, and for the image we use these tags. For audio we use these tags, and for tag we use these tags. This is w3schools.com, which is the largest web developer site that can help us in referencing the tags. Anything that we will forward or anything will remind you in your whole career of web development. Here is the list tags, which are just used for the list, and here is the table tags, which we are going to use all of these tags. So let me just tell you some of the tags, some of the most used tags here. Let me just close it. This is our previous website that we have just created in our last lecture. I'm just going to enter the Visual Studio code again. Here's the Visual Studio. I'm just going to wait it to be loaded. So it is loading. So now we can enter here. Now there is a problem, like if I just enter a new line, if I enter hello world again and save it, you can see there is a line break here and here. It is these two lines are just in the two different lines. If I open my Chrome browser again and refresh this page, you can see the two lines are not in the two different lines. They are rendered in the single line, hello world and hello world. But if you see the page source, you can see these two words are in the two new lines, but here it is not in the new line. So that there is a problem. We can use a p tag for it. Just make it a paragraph tag, and here is a closing tag of p. And after it again there is a p tag for closing it. Now these two are rendered as two different paragraphs, and it will be displayed here with the two different lines. Here you can see there is a hello world here, and here is a hello world here again. Now this is the use of these types of tags. If I want a heading like this, this is a paragraph 1, and here we enter web dev is amazing. And before the p tag I want a heading, that is the h1 heading, which is the largest heading or the boldest heading in your HTML. Like, let us make it catchable. This is a heading. There is also a closing tag of h1. Just save it by Ctrl+S And if I open a web page and click on the refresh window, here you can see the head tag just rendered is in the bold font. You can see it is more bolder than the paragraph tag here, and here you can see. If I move to our HTML document again in our Visual Studio Code, and if I enter h2 tag as a closing tag of h22, and if I enter, I'm just going to enter it again, Ctrl+C for this. I'm just making it a duplicate copy of these, just Control and copy plus paste. This is the h3 tag for the h3 purposes. There are about 6 types of h headings which have different font size and different font width too, and these all are bold and used for different purposes according to your web page design. And the last one is the h6, which is the h6 tags, not the 26, is the h6 tag. Let's make a space here for you can understand. This is the h1 tag. I'm just going to enter it here, h1, and h2 here, and here I will enter the h3 tag here, and here I will enter h4 tag. I really recommend you to copy all these things that I am going to write here, so that you can understand better and run side by side according to me. And here if I refresh my page, you can see the h1 tag is the boldest tag here, and with the increasing of the number by the h, here is the decreasing order of the font size and the boldness of the headings. These all 6, the h1 to h6, are used for heading purposes according to it. The h1 is the largest text that you can make with the h1. We will learn about the CSS in which we can increase the font size of this element of the h1 by this factor to be increased more than this size if you need it. This is the second h2, which is regularly used for the subheadings, and the h3 tag is just for the minor headings, and h4 to h6, I don't know where you can use it, but you can use it in anywhere where you want. For just a simple list, whenever you make a list, you want a heading to it, you can make the h4 to h6, which is h6 is really small, which is really smaller than this paragraph, I think, which is just a bold thing. So now we are going to Visual Studio again. So all the headings which will start from h1 to h2, h3, h4, and there is a h1 tag and there is a closing h1 tag. You can enter between these two tags your content, and it will be rendered according to these tags from here to here. I can just omit this line. You can see here I just omitted the ending tag of the h1, and if I go here and refresh my page, you can see there is no difference at all, because in HTML5 you can just omit the, or you can just ignore the ending tag, but I recommend you to use the heading tag, the closing tag of h1, or any tag which has a closing tag. You have to use the ending tag because it helps us not mixing up the tags or rendering process of the browser, and it helps the browser to load the page faster. After the h tag, we are going to use some of the types of small tags, like I want a p tag. Just going to make it a p tag again. It is a p tag, but I want a smaller font than this one. This is a font, but I want a smaller font width than this. I can enter again between these paragraph tag another tag, which is the small tag. You can just enter small, and there is a closing tag of it too. Every tag in HTML has a starting tag and a closing tag. Here you can see there is a p tag. You can just write it like this one, this type, so that it can be viewed very clearly and understandable and readable to you too. You can see there is a p tag from here to here, which has a nested small tag, and whatever I'll type between these, like I'm just going to enter, this is a small text or paragraph. paragraph. And if I save it and open my browser again and click on refresh, you can see there is a small text or paragraph which is smaller than this one. You can see this is a paragraph, normal paragraph, which doesn't have any small tag, and it has a small tag and it has a smaller font than this B tag. I can go to my Visual Studio again, and if I want this tag to be bold, I can replace the small with the B tag. I'm just going to copy this whole thing here. I'm just entering a new line and paste it here. I want this text, this is a small text, to be big text, and just enter big here. Sorry for this, I just want a bold tag. I think you can increase this text size by using the CSS. Actually in the HTML5 they just remove the big tag, and you can enter a bold tag here. I want a bold tag. To make a tag bold, we just use the B tag here, which has a B starting here and a B starting here. I'm just going to here, and when I click, this is a bold tag. You can see it has a bolder font than this normal paragraph, and this has a small tag which has a smaller font than this normal paragraph. You can format your code according to your need. These type of tags, the B tag or the small tag, are known as the formatting tags. There are about 6 or 7 types of formatting tags. We are just going to use all of these. Like I just entered here, and this is the small tag. I don't want the small tag to be present here. I just remove it, and I just remove this tag too. And in mathematics we come across like 2 raised to power 2. We cannot enter the 2 raised to power 2, but here I can enter, like I just want a subscript. Oh, no, subscript not. It is superscript, that is this SUP tag, and I just enter a closing tag of it, superscript. And if I enter the 2 raised to power 2 equals to 4, you can see it is good. It is just readable. You can see this is the subscript. This sub element represents the superscript. Now you can see what it's do. When I refresh my page, you can see the 2 that is within the sub tag, that is the subscript tag, superscript tag, is rendered as a superscript to the 2 here, and 2 raised to power 2 is the 4. In the similar way, in chemistry we use the subscript, that is the lowered than this. It is the in the head of this 2. So if I hear the 2 or the 4, I want an element that has a SUV of 5, and just save it. If I go to my web browser again and refresh my page, you can see there is a Z with a subscript of 5. It's amazing. It's cool now. So I think it's much for this lecture. In the next lecture we will learn about the HTML more. In the next lecture we are just going to learn about headings, paragraphs, and some types of form, I think. So let's be tuned to the next lecture, and thank you for watching it. Please subscribe, like, and share this video.